Hey there, so from the three main promises that Mr. Mamdani mentioned in the last rally, today I want to focus on this one, and yes, I'm talking about free buses for everyone. This actually might be the worst idea of them all for all New York City residents, and especially for the commuters. I'm gonna talk about why not only these buses will cost you money, but they will also make your commute even worse than now. Now, for full transparency, I live in the suburbs of New York City for over 33 years, and while personally I drive the car, however, my wife is using the public transportation, including the buses of course, and my 17-year-old son is using the buses too, and that's why I wanted to make this video. First, don't you find it slightly interesting that all he mentions is the free buses and actually not the free trains, which are also a huge part of the public transportation in New York City? So as you probably know, if for example you take the bus from one location and then you transfer to the train, at this time yes, this bus is paid, however that transfer to the local train is actually free. So why then Zohran Mamdani's campaign never even mentioned the free trains? Are these trains gonna be free too, but they just forgot to mention it? Or this is something that Mamdani didn't mention on purpose, so yes, your bus ride will be free, however you will still have to pay for the trains, which then will be pointless to most of the commuters, or at least to the commuters that use the trains also. So Zohran Mamdani's campaign, please clarify this. Now for the most important point of the video, let's just say that you're really not required to pay any money to enter the bus. You don't have to use your Metro card and etc. So in other words, everyone can just walk to any random bus, jump on it and ride wherever they want to go, right? Now that sounds great, but is it though? I want you to really think about it for a second. If anyone can enter any bus in New York City at any time, right? Then what is actually gonna stop, for example, homeless person to not only ride the bus, but even to camp in it and pretty much ride these buses forever? And I'm not trying to dehumanize any homeless person, because I personally think that's very unfortunate. However, in the same time, a lot of these individuals are mentally unstable. You will also have some drug addicts entering these buses and etc. So you see, this fare that you're paying for the bus right now is actually the only thing preventing these individuals from entering these buses and making your commute less safe and definitely less pleasant. And what makes it even worse, these buses can become slower, and the reason for it is that sometimes police will have to literally enter the bus, because sometimes for sure there will be someone causing public disturbance in the buses, and these types of situations usually take between 3 and 15 minutes to solve, so much for the faster service. Now as far as this police officer goes that entered your bus to actually solve the issue, these police officers will have to be paid too, right? Which means more funding from New York City. And that brings me to the obviously important part of this video. Will these buses be 100% free? Now the short answer would be of course not. Nothing is free. Everything costs money, right? But are they gonna be free for you? Well, let's start from the cost of this transportation. Obviously, the buses have to be purchased, the drivers have to be paid, their health insurance, right? But then you also have transportation insurance costs, fuel costs, maintenance and etc. Basically, this is the price tag for it. So technically, even if they're gonna make this happen and make it the way that you actually enter the bus for free, aka without swiping any card, right? The operation of these buses will still cost money. So the question is, where is this money gonna come from? And wait, before you say, oh, they're gonna tax the wealthiest people in the New York City, keep in mind that a lot of these people will probably move. So there is gonna be actually less tax revenue. That is, if that policy will even take effect, because it might not even happen. And then all the hardworking middle class and the daily commuters like my wife will have to pay that price, probably by increasing our taxes. That's just the way it works, and if you disagree with me, that's okay. But as far as I know, the middle class is always squeezed the most, and the middle class also pays the most taxes without pretty much many deductions. Listen, if you already voted, that's okay, but if you're still planning to vote for Zohran Mamdani because of the free buses and other similar policies, I would just suggest to think about it twice, because at the end of the day, not only your trip in these buses is gonna be less pleasant, but this commute can cost you even more money coming from your taxes. Alright, thank you for watching this video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers!